Hey guys, so I've explained how JobKeeper works in the walkthrough process of registering. Once you've registered for JobKeeper payments, the next step is to ensure that you're eligible in terms of paying your employees. So you're going to have some employees that are working on part-time basis or casual basis that don't actually meet the total $1,500 per fortnight in wages. So what you need to do is top that up, because if you don't top up the $1,500 per fortnight, you're not going to get the reimbursement of $1,500 the next following month. So what you need to do is firstly jump on the accounting software or the payroll software that you're using. In this case, it will be Xero for this client. And the great thing about Xero is if you go into settings and go into payroll and payroll settings, you will notice that there's a pay item for the JobKeeper top up. So first things first is jump onto there, go into payroll settings and check if the functions in that JobKeeper top up is correct. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going into the payroll settings, going into pay items and checking if there's a JobKeeper top up pay item. So you'll notice here there's a JobKeeper payment top up. Let's click on it and you'll notice that the JobKeeper top up is automatically created by Xero, and on top of that it's a fixed amount that you can input in, and it's exempt from superannuation guarantee. So basically, if the employee doesn't work those hours, you don't have to pay the superannuation, so you can take the superannuation off. The next step is making sure you've done the pay runs. So if you go to payroll and pay runs, you'll notice that all the pays have been done up to the end of April, and in this case here, they are weekly pay runs, and we need to make sure that the pay runs are either on a weekly basis, $750 for each employee, or $1,500 for each fortnight, or $3,000 on a monthly basis. So in this case here, it's weekly, and you'll notice that some of these employees are not paid $750. So only one employee is paid over $750, so that employee is okay, but all the rest of them need to be topped up. So you can create a top up pay run for each week, or you can just do one at the end of the month. We just suggest that you do one at the end of the month. It's just easier for reporting purposes and it doesn't take that long. The next step is to go into accounting, go into reports, and then scroll down to payroll employee summary. So why we have to do that is we need to work out what is actually paid in the month for each employee. And then we need to total all that and work out what the excess we need to pay to make sure that the payroll matches what's needed to be paid to get the JobKeeper payment. So you export this into a CSV file, and now the payroll employee summary is shown. So basically this is the total payments that have been made in the last 4 weeks for each employee here. And you'll notice that not all of them will match the pay that you need to make. So because this is a monthly one, we need to top it up to $3,000. So all these employees have not been paid enough, and it's probably because the business has been shut down or in minimal hours, and there's just not enough wages to be paid to every employee. So the next step now is to actually top it up to $3,000, because that's the 4 weeks of JobKeeper payment that the business and the employees are entitled to. So as long as these employees are entitled to the JobKeeper payment, the next step is to just top it up. So what you should do is you should do $3,000 minus the earnings amount for each employee to work out what amount needs to be topped up. In this case here, for this person here, it's over the amount, so we just need to, it's okay just to delete this item, so we don't need to do a top up for him. So we can get rid of all these amounts and just add this one as the top up. Also, we want to also double check that the top up will match the $3,000 per month for what you need to pay. So we'll just put a total column and just double check that this adds up to, sorry, I must have done the formula wrong. I'll go back and fix that up. So this amount here plus this should all make each employee add up to $3,000. So the unfortunate thing about this is that this employer needs to take $13,000 out of their own pocket to pay his or her employees. So let me just bring this to the left hand side, take this over to here, and now you can see basically what needs to be done on the Xero file. So what I'm gonna do next is go back to payroll and do the next pay run for the week ending on the last fortnight. So in this case here, we're doing an unscheduled pay run because the pay run's already done for the fortnights. And we'll just select the week ending on the last fortnight for the month. So you'll see this, notice that there's a 22nd of April and a 29th of April. In this case here, it will be the 22nd because the 29th doesn't fall on the pay runs starting from the 30th of March. So as you know, the JobKeeper payment starts on the 30th of March and the first fortnight ends on the 12th. So therefore the next fortnight ends on the 26th. So this pay run, this last pay run actually has to end on the week ending on the 26th. So in this case here for this client, the week ending on the 26th is the 23rd pay run. So we'll just make sure that we do the week ending 22nd or 23rd. Okay, so now that we got these amounts, we just need to add in the top up amounts for each employee, except for the one that has already passed the $3,000 that month. So all of these are not showing up, so we have to select the employees that need to be paid the top up. Unfortunately, there's no quick way to do this. You just need to go to each payslip and each employee and add in the manual top up. Because the reason being is because the top up is different for each person. Because obviously each person works different hours. So this one here is going to be topped up to 1950. So you notice that the tax has been taken into consideration, and notice that the superannuation, there is none because this person didn't work. So therefore, from that 1950, the net pay is 1174, and the leftover amount is paid to the tax office for the employee's tax. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of it for these employees. So add in earnings lines, go to JobKeeper, payment top up, do the same, add this one in. So just double check that the employee is the right employee and then make sure the tax is calculated, make sure that there's no super, and then save and next. Okay, so I've finally done it for all the employees, and you'll notice that you'll need to do a final check on the earnings. So you'll see that this earnings column must match the top up payments. So let me just double check that the total earnings payment is 13082.88, and that's correct. Payment date can be changed to whatever date you decide to pay the employees. And the tax is going to be $4,492 for each employee. All right, if you're happy with these amounts and you're making sure that each payment is made to the right employee, you just need to click post pay run next and make sure that you make these payments to the employee's bank account. So before you make the payment to the employee's bank account, last step is obviously to check that you've done the right thing. So obviously you want to make sure you've done it right. So what I'll do is I'll open up another report and now check the payroll employee report again, just to double check that every employee is going to be paid that $3,000 or more for that month. So I'll go and open up the payroll employee summary and then open it for that month. And you'll notice now, voila, $3,000 for each individual employee for all the ones eligible. And on top of that, there is one person that's getting paid more than everyone else because their salary or wage is over, or they may be working full time in that case. So that's correct. So now you can go back to this amount here and you just make this payment to each employee. So make the net payment because the rest goes to tax, and make sure if you're on single touch payroll, file this with the tax office so they're aware that you've made these pay runs and you've actually paid the employees the right amount for the JobKeeper payment. And that's pretty much it, guys. You need to do this on a monthly basis to ensure that you've topped up every employee that hasn't been paid the $1,500 per fortnight. Cool. Thanks guys. Hope it all makes sense.